Hello friends, and welcome back to my messy kitchen, but mainly my channel. Today is currently Monday, August 7th. I almost said May 7th for some reason. And this video is going to be a weekly reading vlog. If you saw my last video, then you already know, but I am fresh coming off a weekend where I read Belladonna and In the Weeds. I will not shut up about In the Weeds. 5 stars, I love that series, and I cannot wait to get to the 3rd book. But I am not going to start reading the 3rd book in that series quite yet. I am actually going to start this week off by reading One of Us is Back by Karen and McManus first. I have been on a young adult kick recently, so this is going to be just what I need. If you don't know, this is the 3rd book in the One of Us is Lying series. Honestly, I forgot this book was coming out and I don't remember too much about what it's about. Let me read this to see if I get an understanding really fast. So inside the flap, this is basically the takeaways that I'm getting. We are now following the entire Bayview crew that we know and love, and they are back home for the summer. But of course, why would it be that simple? This is Karen and McManus that we are talking about. It says, a mysterious billboard seems like a bad joke. It reads, time for a new game, Bayview. But when a member of the Bayview crew disappears, it's clear that this game is serious and whoever's in charge isn't sharing the rules. Or maybe there aren't any. Okay, I don't want to read any more than that because I obviously have to go in blind. My only hopes for this book is that the first few chapters are a recap, because I read One of Us is Lying more than a couple years ago, and then I read One of Us is Next 2 years ago, or whatever year it was when it came out. So I know there is a large cast of characters. So my only hope is that we get like a character list or like a recap of what's going down. Maybe the characters talking about each other, reuniting, something, just so I can get a better grasp of the Bayview crew again. So like I said, today is Monday night. I'm going to dive into this book, but honestly, I don't know how much I'm going to read tonight just because The Bachelorette is on. I don't love that show, but it's trashy entertainment, okay? Plus it's almost the finale, so if she doesn't end up with who I want her to end up with, I don't know what happened. So many updates, I do not know where to begin. First of all, happy Tuesday. It is like 8:30 at night. I meant to update earlier, but today was a whirlwind. I feel like everybody was acting absolutely insane. So to start out, I'm about to insert a couple clips. There's this trend going around on Bookstagram right now where you have your boyfriend or husband guess the titles of books based on the cover. You just Photoshop the cover out and then they give you what they think the title would be. I obviously am boyfriend and husband list, so I had Dad Reads a Lot, aka my dad. If you don't follow me on Bookstagram, he jumped on this trend with me and came up with the most hilarious title names. So I'm going to insert a few clips of what happened right now. Okay, ready for the first cover?
Sure. Summer has begun.
Pretty good.
Yeah! Got one word right. Feel my wrath.
You've read this book before?
Oh yeah? It looks like she's ready to knock the crap out of you. Quick, while nobody's looking.
Except for him.
He's got his eyeballs open. Yeah, that's a good one.
This one's the trickiest one.
Yeah, this one's hard. Heaven's Gate. Love Potion? Yeah. I can't
What's
think
your
of anything
guess?
else. Let's go with Love Potion. Oh, for Christ's sakes. The London Seance Society. What'd I say on that?
I can't see them, they can't see me. Well, that's all I got.
Okay.
That was fun.
That was fun. No more sad face.
Do you want to do another one?
You got one more?
I can make one in like a minute.
We'll do one more. Last puzzle. Oh my goodness. It's me. Well, the first thing I think of is Shrek today. Okay, I think I can come up with a name. Coffee and Monsters. Come join the fun! Coffee and Monsters! Read all about it!
Actually, you're not the far off.
What is it? Legends of Lattes.
Lattes.
I almost said lattes. I'm glad you said it before me so I could correct myself. I think I was off on every one of them, other than the one. I got one word right. I didn't do too bad, but you definitely don't want me naming any books. Nobody'd read them, except for me, apparently.
If you want to see the full post and interact with me, go ahead and check out my Bookstagram. It's the same as my username on here, at Alexis Reads a Lot. But as far as reading goes, I am, let's check, I am about 71% of the way into One of Us is Back. I listened to a lot of this on audio today while I was working, and I am still in the same boat as my conclusion last night. I am strictly reading it for the plot and to find out what happens, but I have no interest, no emotional attachments to any of the characters. If this book didn't have those like random one-line sentences that were like flashbacks to what happened in high school, or just paragraphs recounting what went down in the last two books, Homegirl would be so confused. I think it says in the synopsis, so it's not really going to be a spoiler. Yeah, but one of the Bayview crew actually gets kidnapped in the beginning of this book, and I don't know if it's just because we are switching between so many point of views or what, but Homegirl was kidnapped and tied up and also drugged at a party, and we just continued on in the story with the other point of views like it was just a small bump in the road that occurred. Excuse me? Like, I get this bunch has been through a traumatic deal, but I just feel like a little bit more sympathy should have been shown for the homegirl that got snatched. I'm hopefully going to finish this tonight. Fingers crossed I don't get distracted or anything else happens. Y'all, I am genuinely exhausted. So you remember earlier, of course my air just started. We're gonna suffer through this short clip. You guys remember earlier when I said I'm going to finish reading tonight and fingers crossed nothing happens? I think I cursed myself because I was just about to settle in to read. I literally just finished dinner, and I don't want to give up too information because it's the internet, but we had some people break into one of my family's properties, so we had to go out there and deal with the sheriffs, and we just had some other people meet us out there to deal with the situation. Place is absolutely trash, glass broken everywhere, anything you could think of, it happened. So it is now currently 11:48. You can't even really tell, but no reading has taken place whatsoever. I'm probably going to put my pajamas on and pass out. The start of this weekly reading vlog has taken a wild turn. As if everything that happened last night wasn't enough, I woke up and my house doesn't have power this morning, so I got ready by a flashlight. What a week, man. Hello friends. It is a couple, and by a couple I mean several days later, but I have quite a few updates for you. This week was absolutely chaotic. I honestly didn't even have time to film the last few days of the week in this vlog. I did, however, finish One of Us is Back. So this book. Was this third book in the One of Us is Lying series necessary? Absolutely not. But was I still entertained enough to finish reading it? Yes, I was. This book combined the characters from One of Us is Lying and One of Us is Next, and we got both of those friend groups combined into one novel. I'm not gonna lie, we had about 5 separate point of views that we were trying to follow, and while reading from these point of views, we also had so many other characters within this book that we were just trying to keep separate the entire time, and it just simply was not working for me. I said this once and I'll say it again, I strictly just read this for the plot and not so much for the characters. Just how some of the heavier topics got brushed over and not really discussed, I feel like if they were talked about, it would have allowed me to connect better with the characters, giving it more of like an authentic high schooler or just starting college character's perspective. With all that being said, I'm going to settle on giving this book a 3-star rating. It wasn't bad and I enjoyed my time reading this young adult novel, but I just truly didn't connect, and therefore I just didn't really care about what happened in this book. If you're a fan of One of Us is Lying, I definitely recommend picking this book up. This book will feature all of your favorite characters and this whole cast solving another mystery within Bayview. So with that quick wrap up out of the way, today is currently Saturday, August 12th, and in case you didn't know, I am actually a scream haunt actor, whatever you want to call it. I work at our local top of the line haunted houses here in town, and I do it every single October October, but today started training. It's been going on for the past couple weeks, but today was the day where we got up early, headed out to the farm, and got to meet a bunch of new people joining us. And we also got to walk through all of the haunted houses, and we got to see all of the new updates they are making. I am a clown. I'll insert a picture here so you can see kind of what I look like. My makeup is different every single night, but I am so looking forward to this season at Scream Acres. So although I didn't get much reading done this morning, I did start listening to Lynn Painter's Mr. Wrong Number on audiobook. I have quite a drive to get there and back, so it was just the perfect time cruising down the dirt roads listening to this audiobook. For some reason, I have been putting off starting this audiobook because I have heard such mixed reviews about it. All of my friends on Goodreads basically just are telling me not to read it, but then on Bookstagram, all of my friends are like, yeah, give it a shot. I actually ended up really enjoying it, and for that reason, all of the mixed perspectives I'm getting, I've just been putting this off. I'm currently on chapter 6, which is 28% of the way into the audiobook. So far I'm enjoying it. It passed the time while I was driving, but it's giving really surface level vibes so far, so I'm hoping that changes here within the next few chapters. I don't have any other plans for this weekend, so my goal is to continue vlogging and finish reading Mr. Wrong Number along with The Love Wager. Alright, hello. It is now Sunday and I have finished another book. Disclaimer before I start this clip, my allergies are super duper bad today. This is like the first moment all day that I've been able to breathe out of my nostrils. Sorry if that's too much information, but I have been sneezing an unbreakable, record-shattering amount today. That was very dramatic, but it's true. I hope it's just my allergies saying like, haha, gotcha. But anyways, about 30 minutes ago, I just finished reading Mr. Wrong Number, and I think I was the one in the wrong for reading it. I should have gone with my Goodreads girlies on this one. It honestly was not something that I wish I would have read. I have a lot of hodgepodge thoughts about this, but first a quick understanding of what the book is. So one random night, Colin Beck accidentally texts the wrong number, hence the title of the book, Mr. Wrong Number, and ends up texting Olivia. And Olivia is Colin's best friend's younger sister. Basically, that is the entire plot of the book that you need to know. I absolutely adore the concept of this book. I love the idea, but the execution of it really let me down. It was kind of weird because although this is an adult book, it read like our main characters were teenagers. Now, if you're looking for a short rom-com book that will help you pass the time, this might be for you. It contains all of the tropes like forced proximity, best friend's younger sibling, opposites attract, enemies to lovers. It has everything that all of the TikTok girlies are looking for, but in my opinion, it just wasn't executed to the degree that I know it could have been. So reading from Olivia's point of view absolutely drove me bonkers. I get what Lynn Painter was trying to do. She was trying to create this quirky and different main character that a lot of girls could relate to, but instead we just got this clumsy and hypercritical girl that I could not stand. One thing that actually made my anxiety drive up the wall was how Olivia talked to Colin Beck about his work and what he has created for himself. Colin went astray from the family business and has created a successful life for himself, and therefore he is pretty well off. He has his own apartment condo situation in a popular town. He is wealthy, and Olivia just makes comments about his wealth and about him being rich, if you want to call it that, and I just found them all to be so disrespectful. The last thing I guess I'll touch on with this book is the parents from Olivia and Colin's family. Both families do not set a good image for a loving family within a book. Both Olivia and Colin's parents absolutely degrade them. They have no faith in them. They literally question every single thing they do, and that's another thing that ultimately pissed me off. Neither one of our main characters had a backbone to stand up to their parents, and I get that it's a difficult situation to be in if it's the parents the ones degrading the children, but dear Lord, you're an adult that has been through a lot in your life and you cannot stand up to your parent who is constantly questioning and degrading you. I'm getting too angry about this. So with all that being said, I think I'm going to settle on giving this book a 2 stars. It was fun, it passed the time, it was a quick read, but honestly, this is not one that I would recommend to people to read. You might think, Alexis, if you thought this of the first book, why would you continue on with the second? One, that is because I own it and 2, that is because I have seen so many glowing reviews for The Love Wager. So before the night ends, I'm going to start this one and hopefully report back with a more positive review. Hello, it is currently 9:47 and I have a little bit of a reading update. I have been reading this nonstop. I did talk to my parents for a little bit on the phone, but I am at the 54% mark and I am actually flying through this. I don't want to say it's so much better, but it is a lot more enjoyable than Mr. Wrong Number. I'm not sure if it's the characters or the concept or what. It's hard for me to exactly pinpoint it at this time, but I am enjoying it so much more. I seriously haven't stopped reading for like the past hour and a half or so. If you don't know what The Love Wager is about, I'll just read the little blurb on the back. It just says, 2 people make a wager on who can find love first, not realizing what they should be betting on is each other. So obviously, as I just said, our 2 main characters, typical Alexis, is reading a book and can't even remember the main characters' names. So our 2 main characters, Hallie and Jack, are helping each other go on different dates, whether it's blind dates, group dating, just random situations where they are trying to help each other find love. But obviously, in the midst of doing all of that, they end up falling for each other. Well, at least I can assume that's where this story is headed. Lynn Painter has relied heavily on modern terms that people use nowadays while dating because because in this book, Hallie is talking about getting the ick from different guys. Now, I know my parents and grandparents watching this probably is not going to know what that means. So usually when like modern terminology is used, it makes me cringe, but the way it's been used in here is pretty funny and I actually don't mind it. The only thing that has given me the ick from this book though is they literally use the term bonking so gosh darn much. I legitimately have been texting myself every single time the word bonk has came up, and within the first 50% they have used the word bonk or bonking or I've bonked 9 times. 9 times! Absolutely not. But other than that, it's going great. Y'all, it is currently 11:38, and in the wise words of Zac Efron from High School Musical, he once said to bet on it, and that is what I should have done from the beginning. Not only because The Love Wager was so much better than Mr. Wrong Number, but if you've read this book, then you already know there's like a little betting aspect in it. Okay. I digress, I'll move on. I thought my joke was funny. If I'm really bright, it's because I'm literally sitting directly in front of a skull LED like neon light thing I have on my wall, but we are just going to roll with it. Now this second book falls into the same category of troubles that I had with Tessa Bailey's A Vine Mess duology. I absolutely despised the first one, but loved the second one, and that is the same thing that happened here. I did not like Mr. Wrong Number, but I ended up really liking this. It's not like a love, but it's a like. So if you're wanting to read The Love Wager, here are the tropes that you should expect. It goes from strangers to one night stand, to friends, to something in the middle, to fake dating, to the one bed trope, to lovers, and alas, a happily ever after. That literally checks so many trope boxes off for a lot of y'all that I know about. The audiobook performance, very well done. The length of this book is honestly really refreshing. It's just under the 300-page mark, so it gets to the point, it's not repetitive, and if you're looking for a funny little rom-com to pass the time, pick this book up. I also have a question for Lynn Painter. The past 2 books that I've read by her feature elevator scenes. Does she have like some trauma in an elevator or some goals? I'm just a curious little girl. One of the main reasons I want to say that I liked this a lot more is because of our main characters. Our main character names are Jack and Hallie. Pat on the back to myself for remembering that. Their chemistry is just so much more believable and enjoyable to read about. Towards the end, there were actually a few scenes that I was laughing out loud at, which obviously how this experience was going, I wasn't expecting. So that was a really nice surprise. And also, let's talk about the epilogue. I'm not going to spoil everything, but that is how an epilogue should end. There wasn't any big unexpected moments that were just thrown in there for content. It was short, it was a couple pages, it was concise, it was sweet. It is what an epilogue should be. The biggest gripe that I have with this book is that it is physical proof on how much miscommunication could be solved just by simply having a conversation and saying exactly how you feel, which it was good for this book, but in everyday life, no thank you. Gosh, I don't know what to rate this. Okay, after much deliberation, I am going to settle on giving the love wager a 3.5-star rating. Compared to the first in this duology, this is obviously one that I would recommend, and just so y'all know, you don't have to read the first book before heading into this one. They just have cameos from other characters within this same world, so you would be safe reading this one without picking up Mr. Wrong Number, although it would spoil the ending to the first book. I just did all of that without pressing the record button. So with that review, I'm going to end this weekly reading vlog here. Although it was a bit chaotic, I absolutely love the challenge that I did with my dad. So stay tuned in a couple seconds to see some bloopers from that moment. Absolutely hilarious. As always, if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button down below and be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date with all of the bookish and travel adventures that I get up to. And let me know down below, which book would you read from this video? Like always, I'll see you next time. Bye! Today is currently Monday, May. I've been on a YA kick recently. My mother just texted me something about pickles. Oh, that'll be a... Okay, don't peek. Why are you touching my toes?
To annoy you. Imagination.
A dream.
Is that the guy with the big moon and the thing that I like? Yeah. Oh my. I'm staring at you.
I noticed.
It made you nervous, doesn't it?
No?
Hi, my name's Peter. Tick, tock, tick, tock.
Hey, I'm hurrying.
My buddy,
Okay.
Patrick.
What'd you just do?
I heard somebody. She got a hold of him.
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm a legend. Legend in my own mind.
Using different dating apps. Bleh. So our two main characters, Hallie and Jack, are helping each other go on different apes. Hallie and Jack are helping each other go on different... Why is this so hard for me to freaking say? Goodbye.
Peace.
Who cares? Doesn't matter. Well, tell me now, who's that boy over there?